Welcome to Fine Art Made Easy, Lesson 3, Part 3. Okay, let's look at the picture. Okay, so this lesson we're going to start painting the sphere. Okay, now if we just look at it, it's a red sphere. Again, it really doesn't matter what colour you use. You could use blue or green, it doesn't make any difference. This is all about values, of course. If we look at it now, on the shaded area, and then in the highlighted area, or just around that one, it can be a little bit difficult to see the values. So if we go to the black and white one, maybe it's a bit easier to see. Okay, how dark that dark is, and then right underneath the dark shadow you can see this reflected light. We won't do that. We won't actually teach anything about that, but we will be doing the reflected light on this one because you have to when you're doing spheres. Okay, let's go back. Let's look at the hues. So, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and titanium white. And now I'm going to show you how to do the first layer for the sphere. Okay, let's go through them. So, burnt umber, ultramarine blue, cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and titanium white. Okay, now. First thing we'll do, we'll start off by mixing I suppose we do like the local colour meaning like what the colour it actually is. Now this red is really powerful red. I mean, cadmium is powerful, so let's just start with the red. It can be red, I suppose it doesn't really make any difference as long as the values are okay. So, but that is really powerful red. Now I want to knock that back a little bit. So to knock it back, a little bit of grey. So I want to mix some blacks as always. Let's put a bit of grey. So we do some burnt umber and about 50% roughly of ultramarine blue. Okay, so mix them together. That will be what I call my black or my dark. Okay, now, so I'm going to use this again. So obviously I want to knock this back by adding grey. So I add this, and a little bit of, clean my brush actually, and a bit of titanium white. Let's see where we go. Okay, well, still very steady, a bit more. Okay, that's a bit more like it. It's a bit duller, it's also a bit darker, so I need more of that, so let's do a bit more. Okay, that's still pretty powerful, and the cadmiums are so powerful. Right, so look, actually not bad, that's not bad. I'm going to keep it like that. Don't think it makes any difference. Okay. So just keep that as my local colour. Probably gonna need a bit more. Just do a bit more. I'm going to keep it like that. Now I'm going to go for my darker one here. So let's darker value. Let's go for the red again now. Just go straight in with this one. It's pretty dark. Have a look. Oh, no, much darker than that. If you look at the picture, it almost looks, maybe it's my eyes, it looks a bit purplish. It could be just the effect of the red, so no, we need even more than that. Let's check the photo, let's have a look. No, even darker than that, so now we have to make some slimmer brush, even more. Let's make some more black. Because it's red, so we say that burnt umber we treat as like, if we go up the values, it will go to orange, or an orangey yellow. So we say this is an orangey yellow. Orange is next to red on the colour wheel. So what we could do is, if I want to knock this value down and keep the same hue, add slightly more burnt umber. That's what I'm going to do here. Just so I'm adding some more orangey yellow, just to keep it. We'll see how it works. Bit more burnt umber. There you go. Let's have a look. It's slightly darker, but it's still. Let's have a look. I think it's not. It's too reddish actually. It's interesting. Okay, so let's knock that back. Or too oranges actually. It's much more orangey. Knock that back even more. Let's check again. You have to constantly check. Oh, not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad, not bad. It's actually too orangey actually. It's interesting. Do a bit more black. So I've probably put too much burnt umber in that one. That's a shame. Never mind. But it's the first layer, so it doesn't matter as long as the value's right. I can't tell that's T now. That works for me. That works for me. I'm going to keep that like that. Now, this one's probably a bit more difficult one. When you're painting any red object, let's say you're painting a tomato, or you're painting a red rose, and the red rose I will teach you in later lessons. When you change the value to a lighter value for red, it becomes almost orangish. Otherwise it would, if you add white obviously to red, you'll become pink, so it's a completely different colour. If you add white to blue like we did for the cube, it's the same hue. So if I do a lighter value for red, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of cadmium yellow. Remember the cadmium yellow for Winsor & Newton is a kind of orangey yellow. So I'm going to add a bit of this. Now add some white, and we're going to see how this one looks. Remember, as soon as you add that white, it becomes pinkish, and it absolutely destroys the red. First thing you can see is it's too bright. So I'm going to knock that back a little bit. Well, it's too reddish, I should say. So I'm going to knock that back by adding some grey. So the black and the titanium white gives it a grey. There you go. I'm going to knock that red back. Okay, that's better. Let's line it up. Okay, see there you go. See the orange comes through, but if you look at any red object, especially tomatoes, if you look at tomatoes, especially when you're painting them, there's a lot of orange in it, a lot. It's just it's a kind of a trick actually. Now that's definitely, yeah, that's definitely there. Because the value is not so much higher than this one actually, but. So let me just, but there is quite a lot of this one, so I'm going to make a bit more of it. That should be about right. Yeah, not bad. Okay, gone up. No, that's. It's a little bit pinkish, but this painting has got some pink in it, but I'm going to a bit like cabin yellow. It's better. Should be a bit lighter. It seems a bit. So I like. Not bad, not bad. Going to do another one here. Okay, let's knock it back a bit. I know I'm messy with that, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's definitely straight off. But he's a little bit pinkish. The lighter it gets, it does get a bit pinkish. But I'm not going to do that. I want to. Okay, you can see the obvious problem there. It's all way too bright. The value's right, but it's just too bright. So I'm going to have to make some more black up. Well, no, it doesn't matter. It's the last one, so I'm going to mix it all together so it doesn't make any difference. Bang. Better. It's better. Not bad, not bad, not bad. That should be a bit more pinkish actually, but that should be a bit more pinkish. I think that's a bit too orangish, but yeah, that should be a bit more pinkish. So I'm going to add a bit more titanium white, I think. I added too much cadmium yellow on that one. So let's just add, there you go. That's a bit better. This should be slightly higher than that one. Okay, and that's for the highlight. Well, I'm going to do a bit of the highlight. Now when you look at the picture, it looks like pure, I suppose some of it is pure titanium white, but I don't. Okay, we'll leave it like that. Thank you for watching. Please go to lesson 3, part 4.